How did you know?
Do not know.
Psycho. You got ESPN.
Go check out my TikTok page, everybody.
Yeah, her psychic powers.
It is spooky season, right? I'm in a bad fucking mood. Let's go. I can't.
Why is that even a thing?
I don't know. It's supposed to a lot of people love it, and it like relaxes them. And
you just ruined my night.
It's awful, isn't it? I know. I don't know.
Well,
that's what your little teeth.
Yeah, and see,
it's like a chipmunk.
Yeah. Thanks.
Me, not you.
Oh.
I can't do it.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 15.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
What?
I just did his little thing.
Oh. I was like, welcome to episode 15, and you go into that. I was like, what did I just trigger? Did I break you?
Except I've got lip gloss on, and I can't really...
Episode 15, Paranormal, West Virginia.
Does anybody else get really confused, and this is awful as a travel person, that there's a Virginia and West Virginia? Why? I always forget there's a West Virginia and its own state.
I mean...
I don't know why. That's just a me thing, but...
Do you ever get confused with North Dakota and South Dakota?
No. I don't. But
the Dakotas?
No. But like Virginias, I do.
Would you know North Dakota versus South Dakota if I took you?
Probably not.
Yeah, actually you might. The better question is, would you know North Dakota versus Montana?
Probably not.
Because they're right there, right up butted against Canada.
Excuse me.
Oh, I thought you were just really, it always seems to annoy you when I call it Canada.
It does.
I wonder if
That's
there are
proper.
I wonder if there are Canadians out there that get annoyed when we call it Canada.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, we do have some Canadian listeners, according to our metric stuff. So, if you're Canadian and you're listening, tell me how much you hate me saying Canada. Or is it just like a typical American twat?
Stupid thing to say. There you go. I called you stupid. Are you happy?
Oh
no, it was dumb. Excuse
me.
Me.
Dumb.
Excuse me.
Way to escalate.
2 times I've called you stupid.
Way to escalate it.
And we're newlyweds, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, she does have it on.
I do, but it's loose.
That's what she said.
You should not be saying that. Gross.
This is gross. Anyways, episode 15.
Are you sure it's 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Proceed.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
So the end of spooky season is upon us. Wah wah.
That's a bummer. I was having fun with these.
It is a huge bummer. I mean, too. Maybe we should, I don't know.
Comment if you think that we should keep them going.
I
Or
kind of like this, though. I do like it.
integrate them in every now and then at least. I think that we should do something like this.
Because I feel like people love paranormal stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, not all people. We just think all people do because we do.
I feel like a lot of people who are our friends and who might listen to us might actually like it. Anyways, I don't know. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Anyways, kicking it off. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going to start with one of my favorite cryptids, actually. I do have to say, even I probably like him more than Bigfoot. Our story begins on a cold November night when two couples driving through the West Virginia backwoods claimed to have encountered a strange winged creature. Their description? A large gray figure with glowing red eyes that followed their car for miles at speeds of up to 100 miles an hour.
No fucking way.
The witnesses, all visibly shaken, reported their sighting to local authorities, and soon more reports of similar sightings began flooding in. What was this creature? Some called it an omen, others a cryptid. But these sightings all sparked a frenzy of the Mothman. Yeah, the Mothman. And I think I'm going to use that as my opener for it, and I'm not going to tell anybody until they get to that point. Congratulations. And so probably one of my favorite things about the Mothman is kind of how, even like versus Bigfoot, I mean, you have the theories and whatnot that he is interdimensional, but like, Mothman's more like a paranormal type, I would say. What do you think?
I think it's a crock of shit.
Why?
Because, like, really? It sounds like a villain from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I mean, it does,
like,
but...
I do not believe.
But why other cryptids and not Mothman?
Why can nobody get proof of Mothman? Why has there been no stories of the Mothman in
people,
years? Is he dead too? Like,
oh, there are still stories coming out to this day.
And
And
where?
Just
tell me where.
Just like Bigfoot, it's not just the United States thing. And that's why, like I said, he's one of my favorite here. So, one of the most persistent aspects of the Mothman lore is it's supposed to be like a harbinger of disaster.
A what?
A harbinger of disaster.
Oh, okay.
The idea is it's not unique to Mothman. Cultures around the world have cryptids and supernatural beings that are said to appear before calamity strikes. In this case, Mothman sightings have been linked to various disasters such as reports from Chernobyl in 1986, and more recently, alleged sightings in Chicago before ominous events. Just a year after the story I gave right there and all those sightings, tragedy struck Point Pleasant on December 15th, 1967. The Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Ohio, collapsed during rush hour, killing 46 people. So a lot of people thought that the sightings were an omen that was going to happen. And like I said, it is like a worldwide thing. Like, there were sightings of the Mothman right before Chernobyl. And I think, like I said, that's part of why I like it. Now, another thing for me is, like, and this might just be my Native American roots coming out, owls. People view owls as like an omen, right? So what if these people driving down the road, what if they're just seeing like a really large owl?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I find it very hard to believe. Huh?
I want to believe.
Well, I think it'd be really interesting, but like, again, I believe in Bigfoot more than I believe in the Mothman.
I'm going to choose.
The Mothman's cooler than Bigfoot, but
I am going to choose to believe because it doesn't hurt to want to believe and be all about it. So, I'm all about Mothman. And Katie thinks it's BS. What about you at home? How are we feeling about Mothman? and Chernobyl. And
what city did those people see it in?
so it was actually throughout West Virginia, but mainly right around the Point Pleasant area.
Oh, yeah, huh? Screech, sorry.
But yeah, so I just thought that was an interesting aspect.
Oh, it's totally interesting. But why are people not as invested in the Mothman as they are in Bigfoot? And like Wendigos, come at me, say I'm saying it wrong. I dare you. Try me today.
Chupacabras.
Yeah, like why are people aliens? Why are people so gung ho about all these other entities, but not the Mothman anymore?
Probably because they're more like a paranormal aspect to it, kind of like that psychic aspect, and like bad omen, like an owl.
Quit bringing up the fucking owls!
I love owls.
See? How do we feel?
How do you feel about owls? Yeah. Anyways, that's what I had for Mothman.
Oh, that wasn't a lot.
I know, but I didn't want to like take up an entire. There wasn't a whole lot about Bigfoot either, except for
there's a ton about Bigfoot.
They're seen all around. Well, there's also less evidence of Mothman. You want proof of Mothman? Watch X-Files.
I was thinking of the song while you were mentioning You Want to Believe. I was thinking about what's that song? The Dirty Touch. Something about doing doggy style while watching X-Files or something like that.
The Bad Touch?
Yeah.
The Dirty Touch? Shout out Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah, you knew what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know every word to that song.
Yeah.
Kevin did a project in high school where he rewrote that song. And called it like the Fat Touch or something like that. I think it was about food. Yeah, getting Kevin canceled. Oh, he doesn't even know it.
My God. So yeah, I mean, you would have thought that something would have picked him up on like a video camera nowadays. Like everybody's got a Ring camera or some sort of like security camera. Like, I don't know.
Oh, like that elf thing on Paranormal Calling Camera. That thing gives me.
Yeah. See, like so like, where's the Mothman at? If you're listening, Mothman,
show yourself.
Go to our website.
Take a picture. Take a selfie. Send it in. Like Mothman's online. If I was Mothman, I wouldn't be doing none of that. Would you like to go first on our haunted tour?
Yes.
West Virginia is actually one of my like go-to places for hauntings, I think.
This next destination is like my top favorite paranormal thing I've ever seen in my life. From Paranormal Lockdown.
They get a ton of evidence.
And this place is always hopping. It's one of the most famous.
Not just them, but like almost every ghost show or even YouTuber has been there.
Right.
And everybody gets something.
In Virginia. West Virginia. Fuck, see? West Virginia. What are we? Fuck, see. What city are we talking about? What city? What the hell's wrong with me? I don't even know what...
Weston.
Oh, no, I do know what city this is. Hello.
Weston. I know somebody that named their kid Weston.
It's not a bad name.
But now he has to live with the fact that his name is linked to a place that has bad hauntings.
Nobody is going to think of... the Trans-Allgeheny Lunatic Asylum when they hear the word Weston.
Weston, West Virginia.
Yes. Even the name just sounds ominous.
Trans-Allgeheny?
Lunatic Asylum.
Well, that wasn't the official name.
I know, but like it just sounds weird.
Mm-hmm. Everything about that place is weird. Look at how many acres it sits on.
Yeah, West Virginia Hospital for the Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Weston State Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And you can't make this shit up. This is what is so crazy. It sits on 666 acres.
Mm-hmm.
and it has 13 different buildings.
Gee, I wonder why it's haunted.
That's fucked up. That's bad juju.
That's just asking for people to have experiences.
Well, I mean, again, you said like the South is very haunted for, because it was discovered earlier, I guess, is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Well, the South and the East. But not only just that, a lot of it, like even Pennsylvania, they all have roots tying back to the Civil War. And
right,
out west, like, I'm not saying we don't have bloody conflicts. We didn't have a war, though. Like, yeah, we had the violent West, but we didn't have a war.
I mean, not in that way. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, I mean, it dates all the way back and opened to patients in October of 1864.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, and it was open all the way, and it didn't close down until May of 1994.
Mm-hmm. That's 130 years.
That's ridiculous. And with the things they were doing there, too, like, that's not cool either.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't as bad as, say, on our last episode.
Children's Hospital.
Yeah, Penhurst.
Yeah, but,
it wasn't, like, deplorable. They weren't, like, testing things on them, but they weren't...
But, I mean, they were doing...
I wouldn't say, like, the staff weren't so bad versus, they were rooming murderers with people with mental retardation was the problem. So there were homicides and stuff.
They just didn't treat mental illness and mental health cool back in those days. Not that it's cool now, but at least we don't do fucking lobotomies and, like, shit like that just, no. It just is... Mental health has come a long ways since then.
Which, like you said, it closed recently, 94.
Yeah, we were both alive.
Yeah. So that's leaps and bounds when you think about it in just years.
Yeah, so it closed in 94 and then it reopened as a tourist location in March of 2008.
14 years later.
Damn. So construction began in late 1858 and was initially conducted by prison laborers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. This was a cool fact that we learned doing some research about this place. So the buildings are built out of sandstone.
Mm-hmm. Not just that. I found more facts. Like, we had learned that, but then...
No, I know, but that's just really cool because sandstone is supposed to hold on to energies really well.
Definitely. Another reason, 666 acres in sandstone.
Yeah, like why is it so active? I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Are
you even going to mention what else it puts there?
What else
about
does it
the
put
Kremlin?
In there?
It's the biggest...
I was reading...
Oh. It's right there with it.
I told you I'm not reading your notes note for note.
No, but this is something that people are going to want to know. Like, that's really interesting. You even know where the Kremlin is?
No.
Russia.
I mean, that would make sense.
So, it's the biggest in North America, and the second biggest in the world only to the Kremlin.
Oh, blue sandstone from the quarry in Mount Clair, West Virginia. Oh, period. And because of this, skilled stonemasons from Germany and Ireland were employed. It is the largest hand-cut stone masonry building, I can't talk, in North America and is... Like, what the fuck are you doing with your big words here? And is the second largest in the world next to the Kremlin, period.
Purportedly the second largest in the world.
Purportedly. What the fuck does that even mean? Reportedly?
No, it's purportedly, which kind of means, like, it's... I don't want to say skeptical. It is...
not a fact.
It's thought to be, but there's no definitive. There's no definitive way to prove it. But most people have that belief of that's what it is, purportedly. Hold on. I will Google it. So you get the exact... And watch when I'm right. It'll be a different definition, of course, but overall, it's going to be exactly what I just said.
Moving on. Construction was interrupted by the outbreak of the American Civil War in 1861. While construction was attempted during the war, the grounds and buildings were often occupied by both Union and Confederate military. And building supplies were taken by Confederate raiders.
Appearing or stated to be true, though not necessarily able to be proved. Alleged.
So why don't you just say allegedly?
Because I like purportedly.
Oh my god.
And she gives me crap about my vocabulary.
I couldn't even say that word.
I'm sorry. Okay. That's part of the learning experience with the podcast.
Remember, Trans-Allgeheny is what we're talking about. So originally designed to house 250 patients in solitude. 250. The hospital held 717 patients by 1880, 1,661 in 1938, and over 1,800 in 1949. At its peak, 2,400 to 2,600 in the 1950s in overcrowded situations.
I could not find an exact number. There was several different ones.
I mean, how could you? They probably had, allegedly.
But they all agreed that it was 24 to 26.
Yeah.
Between that.
Mm-hmm. Same with this one. Official death counts are unavailable. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. But some historians estimate 5 figures or more, including death from unfavorable conditions, so poor sanitation, or climate controls, and murder.
So, climate control being like cold and...
Cold,
and,
yes, obviously. That I do know.
Purportedly.
You motherfucker. I love you.
I love you. Purportedly.
Ah! Get the fuck... That was fucking rude.
Oh, you know I love you, and I prove it to you all the time.
How much time did I spend in here bitching and being bitchy? And now you just made me all bitchy again.
Allegedly.
Okay, so reports. When you go to the Trans-Allgeheny these days, you can hear disembodied voices.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually hear that with your own ear. You don't need EVP.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get EVPs. Full-bodied
Operations?
apparitions.
Apparitions.
Full-bodied apparitions.
Mm-hmm.
And shadow figures. Which is the coolest thing I've ever seen from that show. It's awesome. Go look that episode up. There's like some army crawler weird...
It is weird.
Thing on the floor, and it's just the coolest...
That's actually...
coolest thing ever.
That's the episode that got Micah and I hooked on that show. Because of
That's the very first episode.
Yeah, but... And so...
That's amazing. Good. Yeah. Amazing.
It's honestly probably that's probably my favorite piece of evidence ever captured by anybody.
Yeah, same here. It's amazing. It's so cool to watch. Because you're like, what the fuck? That can't be an animal. Like, and it crawls like an army crawl, so it looks like a... Yeah,
and you can pretty well... Like, you can almost see through it. Like
I was saying that it was like this whitish mist-looking thing.
Which...
But you swear it's dark, and I'm like, no,
it's definitely white. Dark. It's just the contrast coming off of the night vision, which makes it look almost white.
Still, coolest thing ever. Go watch Paranormal Lockdown Season 1, Episode 1, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. Okay. Okay. So the asylum is a paranormal investigator's dream and has been featured in almost all the shows you can think of. And is modeled in recent video game... Oh, I didn't know that. And is modeled in the recent video game Fallout.
76.
76, excuse me. Under the name Fort Defiance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool little fact. I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's actually more well-known than people think.
Oh.
And that's why I thought I'd add that in there, is I thought it was a cool little tidbit.
That is cool. Okay, sorry
Thank
for
you.
my meltdown. Proceed.
Thank you, that was good. You want me to do one?
Yeah. I need to compose myself.
I am going to start things off with North Bend Rail Trail, tunnel number 19 in Ritchie County. Don't ruin my excitement.
Oh,
I had to throw it in
you
there
look
because
cute.
yeah, well, it's like a railroad thing, and I've been on this whole railroad kick lately.
I know. You look cute.
So, the North Bend Trail extends a total of 72 miles and is very popular with hikers, cyclists, horseback riders. The tunnels on the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad line between Grafton and Parkersburg, West Virginia, were built just after the Civil War between 1867 and 1870. By the late 1950s, railroad freight cars were getting taller and wider, and the narrow, low tunnels on the B&O line were creating a problem area referred to as the bottleneck by the railroaders because of the difficulty of getting larger trains through the tunnels. I just put two and two together. B&O. B&O Railroad. Monopoly.
Huh.
Anyways, B&O decided to do a clearance project. Tractor beam. They decided to do a clearance, I even put it in quotation, project, widening tunnels and raising the roofs to accommodate new trains. Some of the tunnels were daylighted, or had their roofs removed so that they could have open cuts instead of the tunnels all the way through. But 10 of the original tunnels remain today. Hikers and bikers pass through them regularly, most unaware of the ghostly legends connected with several of the tunnels. Stories of grisly deaths, apparitions, strange noises, and frightening experiences are common throughout all the tunnels. One such tunnel that still stands is number 19, and its ghostly resident, the Lady in White.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's one of those. But, as far back as 1910, reports started to emerge of a young lady in a flowing white dress standing on the tracks. She was first seen by an engineer who brought his train to an abrupt halt thinking that he was going to hit her. But when he went out to look for her, she had gone. Just straight vanished. Over the years, many of his predecessors have experienced the same thing. It's not clear who she is or why she's haunting the tunnel, but it is said that some human bones were uncovered under the house very close to the tunnel. So they think that might be her.
Whose bones were they?
They didn't say. That's just purportedly her. If you want to go looking for this lady in white, then you're going to need a flashlight. Even in the daylight, the tunnel is 1,376 feet long and daylight does not penetrate it.
Why would you need a flashlight if she's going to show up?
Because it's dark?
As a lady in white.
I
She's
mean,
going to be glowing.
Okay, well, why she doesn't glow? You've seen every ghost show ever. They don't freaking glow. They reflect.
They've never caught a real lady in white.
Oh, that's fair. Well, no.
No, not that I've seen. I mean, very well, they probably could
They've
and
gotten
should
like
have, but
they've
there's
gotten like the starting of like apparitions starting to form,
which
but they don't glow. They don't glow.
Yes, they do.
When do they glow? They've gotten like some eyes that glow.
No.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying. Like you never see them glowing. She's not pregnant. She ain't gonna be glowing.
Look up the meaning of lady in white and.
But anyway,
yeah.
I just added that because several other tunnels are haunted, and it had to do with trains, and got me all excited.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
I could maybe believe that.
It was an outdoor one. I thought I'd throw it on there, and I thought it was interesting.
What is your obsession with outdoor hauntings?
Especially like a tunnel that's 1,300 feet long, almost 1,400, 1,376.
That's a long tunnel. Could you hold your breath that whole time?
No. Well, I mean, probably. How long is Eisenhower? It's
Mm.
longer than that.
Eisenhower's longer than that?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Because
1,300 sounds like a long distance.
it sounds like it, but a mile is 5,280.
Oh,
So
shit.
that's not even a fifth. Well, I guess it's like a fifth of a mile. So yeah, you could totally hold, as long as you're in a car. I don't know about running it. Running it would be even harder because you'd be breathing hard. What?
Allegedly.
Purportedly. Okay. Would you like to go next?
Wait, where was that?
That was the tunnels along the B&O rail line. So North Bend Rail Trail, 72 miles long.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, that one was tunnel number 19 in Ritchie County.
Okay. Lady in White, very interesting. That's the very first episode of Supernatural. Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Is it?
I honestly don't
I think it
know.
is. The very first episode of Supernatural.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, yeah, doesn't she, like, burn? Or... Yeah, because it's Sam remembering what the hell happened to Mom, isn't it?
No.
I haven't seen the first season of Supernatural, and when did that even come out?
2005.
I probably haven't...
Can you all believe that? That is crazy.
I probably haven't seen the first season since 2005.
Oh, you are so missing out. They just got worse as they went on. And I love Supernatural,
I was gonna say,
okay?
I liked them all.
I love Supernatural, but like the first
Unpopular opinion.
7 seasons were way better.
Unpopular opinion. I liked it more than like Walking Dead and all those.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
People are obsessed.
With what? The Walking Dead?
Mm-hmm.
All you hear about is how much people were like, God, I wish this show would end.
They said that about Game of Thrones too, but you're like...
They did not say that about Game of Thrones.
The last 3 seasons they did because they were effing it up.
No, they did not F it up until the last season, and then people were pissed and saying they need to reshoot it.
People were pissed about
You
6,
know
7, and
nothing,
8.
Jon Snow.
People were pissed off about 6, 7, and 8.
No, they were not.
I'm not saying they weren't still good, better than most shows, but people were pissed.
Purportedly.
Jon Snow's a pussy.
Yes. Moving on.
Hashtag Danny all the way.
Yes. All right, the next one is actually very interesting because it's another outdoors one. Also very famous, also very haunted, also very sad, like a bunch of sadness.
It's funny because, like, out of 4 of the hauntings, 3 of them that we're mentioning are all very, very haunted.
Right. All right, so next up is Lake Shawnee Amusement Park.
Sweet. Mm-hmm.
Is an abandoned amusement park in Rock, West Virginia.
Rock West?
No, just Rock. R-O-C-K.
Oh, you said Rock. Oh, Rock.
West Virginia. Yep. So, this is very, very haunted, supposedly, because it is on a Native American burial ground.
Mm-hmm.
So Native Americans lived on Lake Shawnee property for more than 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they had good soil. There's a river and a cliff known as the Indian Lookout, made this land perfect to raise a family and survive, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So then, the Native Americans were there. They were doing their thing. They were just minding their business, and then they get invaded. And next on the property came the first English settlers in Mercer County in 1775.
Mm-hmm.
The Clay family.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell and Phoebe.
I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, her name was Phoebe, so I had to include her name on there.
Phoebe.
But not Buffet. Sorry, guys.
They had 16 children.
Cheese and crawl.
Yeah. Cheese and what?
Crawl. I don't know. Just go with it. Cheese and crawl.
Yeah, 16's a lot. So it was on this land, though, where 3 of the Clay children were buried.
Mm-hmm.
So all 3 of these kids were killed by the Shawnee Indians.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them were killed while they were outside doing chores.
Mm-hmm.
The 3rd, this is so bad, warning, was taken captive
Mm-hmm.
and then later burned at the stake.
Eesh. Just in retaliation for their land?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitchell Clay first marked the grave in 1783,
Mm-hmm.
and then he retaliated because they killed 3 of his children. So with the help of other settlers, he tracked down several Native Americans and killed them as well.
Eesh. So it's just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, just all the way across.
But
bad.
can you blame the Shawnee?
I don't blame either side, honestly, because fuck that.
The Clays didn't instigate it, no. But they were out on the side there, and they were settlers, so the Indians probably marked them as like an easy target because they weren't in the middle of town.
Yeah, and it's just it's just very, very unfortunate. They didn't have to kill the children, but I just they didn't. None of it had to happen. Period. Okay, moving on. So. So then nothing really happens for quite a long time. The Clay property didn't attract much notice until the 1920s.
Hmm.
And then it was purchased by a Conley T. Sindo
Mm-hmm.
sometime in the 20s.
Couldn't find an exact date.
And then at that time, they made the lake. In the 20s, they made the man-made lake and the amusement park. Okay, so when they were digging up the lake,
Mm-hmm.
he used a horse and a plow with a board on the front
Yeah.
to start shaping the lake. Coal miners would come from miles around for a weekend of fun. What?
I just thought that was an interesting factoid that he made the lake using a horse and plow. So, that would have been hard work.
Mm. Yeah.
Do you know how much work people used to do?
Yeah.
Ugh.
We're so spoiled nowadays. We just look everything up on the internet.
Why didn't the man just use an excavator or a loader?
Because it wasn't around. Obviously. All right, so then basically coal miners would come from miles around. Basically for fun, they'd bring their families with them. This cute little new amusement park was built.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, things started to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Again, one of the first documented deaths at the park was a little girl who died on the swings. Because when the swings go around, you get some speed, you get some air, and then she plowed into the back of a soda can truck.
How fast did it have to be going?
You've been on those rides.
Yeah,
we talked about this the other day. They get you going pretty, and it depends on how little she was, because nobody really knows who. There's not a lot of info on who the little girl was.
Hmm. I mean,
so
she
she had to have been little, but basically she's smacked into the back of a truck. So all told, approximately 6 visitors died during the amusement park's brief history till 1966, when it was then abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of children.
Several of those were drowning.
Oh yeah, there were some kids, some boys, that drowned in the lake. Which also reminded me of another Supernatural episode, so that's interesting. Maybe you need to go watch it.
Yeah, maybe.
So, so you got drownings, you've got weird freak accidents, you've got the Indians, you've got the settlers, you've got the whole just bad vibes. So, after 20 years, another businessman approached Lake Shawnee. Gaylord White thought the Sleepy Meadow seemed ideal for future neighborhoods. He was going to build some houses, went to do the construction, and then they tore into the grass and soil, and they unearthed several bones of Native Americans and several artifacts.
Mostly children.
Yeah. Again, why? Why? Why the kids? I don't get it. So, Yeah. I mean, it was a burial ground, but, like, I don't know. What is your opinion on that? Because I'm not quite sure. That seems a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know why it would be mostly kids. I don't know why.
I mean, did they have a thing where they, I don't know.
Separating them?
Separated them? Yeah.
But
why? Why would they?
Even then, they didn't separate them because there were adults found. It was just mostly kids.
It was mostly children. I mean, there was, like, disease and stuff, but, like, I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems weird to me.
And they haven't dug it up completely, so they don't know how much of it there really is or how many graves there really are.
Right. Yeah. Because there could be thousands of people still buried there. So archaeologists believe that the remains had been there long before the settlers moved onto the land in the first place.
Mm. So, like, maybe even before the Native Americans?
Well, I think they were... because I don't know. That's the thing. There's, like, it's really a lot of unconfirmed...
Because, like, you have, like, old civilizations. Was there a civilization before Native Americans?
In that area? I don't know. I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Aliens. Aliens and Bigfoot did it. With the Mothman. Purportedly.
So today the property hosts ghost tours. Again, you can see shadow figures, full-bodied apparitions. You get some audio evidence as well. Most people feel like they're being watched, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And, many people repeat. I was looking at the word feet and trying to say report.
Mm-hmm.
Report one of those shadow figures being 7 feet tall.
Mm. The Slender Man.
So are the spirits of the Shawnee tribe watching to make sure everyone stays respectful of the land?
I did put that in there. That was a weird question for me. I was like, I wonder if that is them just watching to make sure that, like, why else would you feel watched?
Because it's their land.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, who else would it be? Why else would
it wouldn't be. That's what I agree. I don't think it's any, but I think it's I would maybe love to go there one day.
I would. I'd be all over that.
Because I totally think that it's totally got, hello. It's an ancient burial, like, hello.
Because a lot of people report that little girl on the swing. So.
Which, is super fucking.
Tragic.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
And fucked up.
So
yeah. That's Shawnee. Lake Shawnee.
That's exciting. I would go.
That's exciting. That's awful.
If you do go visit, the owners do request, because they don't know really who the haunting is, what it is, they do request that you bring some sort of offering for native spirits, just in case, because they don't want to take off anything. So that is it's open, people can go visit, they can do investigations, they just ask that you bring an offering.
Oh, good point.
Which is kind of like...
Right, because if you're going in there and, like, shit is really there, like, you don't want to...
piss it off.
Mad. Or make them
angry
at the...
It kind of reminds me of, like New Orleans.
Yeah,
in that aspect.
True. I love that, actually.
That New Orleans, yeah, they like to leave offerings for the dead, mm-hmm. So I am all about that.
Yeah.
And we are on to the last one, but not least. Moundsville State Penitentiary.
Penitentiary.
Moundsville State Penitentiary. Son of a bitch!
God damn it.
Take 3. Moundsville State Penitentiary. Fuck! Why can't I say it?
I don't know.
Moundsville State Penitentiary. I said it right. Why are you laughing, dude?
Say it again.
Moundsville State Penitentiary.
Okay.
Penitentiary.
You're gonna make me laugh, Craig.
When?
Yep, go ahead.
When West Virginia became a state in 1863, it had no state prison. Prisoners were held in county jails, and to alleviate crowding...
Sorry. I'm listening, go ahead.
To alleviate crowding, Governor Borman in 1864 ordered that convicted felons throughout the state be imprisoned in the Ohio County Jail and asked the legislature for funds to construct the state penitentiary. The state penitentiary.
I can't tell if you did that on purpose or not.
I did not. And asked the state...
Yep.
Asked the legislature... Son of... Okay, look. Keep it together. We got just a little bit more. I promise. Governor Borman in 1864 ordered convicted felons throughout the state and asked the legislature for funds to construct the new state penitentiary. We're keeping it. We're going with it. I think it's my teeth. Penitentiary.
Oh, that's twice.
And I'm not trying. I swear I'm not.
I know you're not. That's why it's cracking me up.
Okay. Anyways, we're moving on. The Gothic style West Virginia... Son of a bitch, it's there again. We're going for it. The Gothic style West Virginia... Okay, I need something for my chi. The Gothic style West Virginia Penitentiary...
There you go, good job.
Opened in 1867 with 840 cells for men and 32 for women. It was a very
How many for men?
840.
And 32 for women?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I guess they just figured women didn't commit crimes.
Yeah.
Or that men would keep a better leash on their women. Olden days, people, you couldn't even vote yet. So.
Penitentiary.
There are reports that by the 1960s, the penitentiary was so crowded that as many as 3 prisoners would be put in a 5x7 cell together. The building, which had official capacity of about 650, reached around 2,000 at its peak. Outdated facilities led conditions in the penitentiary to be... I've said it right 3 times. You can get over it now.
Yep.
Outdated facilities led conditions in the penitentiary to be even worse. The size of Moundsville prison doubled in 1959 with the completion of a section that had been under construction for 30 years. Overcrowding persisted, however, and tension increased with the number of prisoners all the way through. In March 1973, a group of about 40 inmates held 5 guards hostage, demanding better conditions. 2 inmates were stabbed in the chaos, and another was killed. What?
Nothing.
It's a very violent... So, not only there were several murders in there, by the way.
Well, yeah, I would imagine and assume.
In total, the riot lasted 24 hours before negotiations between the inmates and the governor, Archmore, ended, with the governor accepting 15 demands by the prisoners, including things like 10 solitary confinement cells in the building's basement be removed. Rules and regulations for prisoners and guards to be written and enforced equally, and clean sheets. Yeah, you would have been miserable. Other following escapes and altercations prompted Ohio County Circuit Judge Arthur Recht to place the facility under judicial control. Despite efforts to improve the conditions, another riot, New Year's Day 1986, where more than a dozen prison workers were taken hostage. Although none of the hostages were injured, 3 inmates died during the 3-day standoff, which led to the state Supreme Court ordering the penitentiary... Son of a bitch! Ordering the penitentiary... Just ordering that it was going to be closed. The last prisoners were transferred in 1995. So
we were alive then too?
Yeah.
Damn.
During its 119-year tenure, approximately 998 men died in the prison.
Damn.
Of these, 36 were homicides. From 1899 to 1959, 94 men were executed at the prison, with 85 executed by hanging. These executions were open to the public until June 19th, 1931, when inmate Frank Heyer was hanged for murdering his wife. Unfortunately, when the trapdoor beneath him opened, he fell and was instantly decapitated.
Oh my god, so it scarred everybody
Yeah.
versus seeing him hang.
Yeah. Afterward,
Jesus Christ.
attendance at executions could only be attended by those who were invited. This, coupled with reports that it is built on Native American burial grounds, have reports of hauntings from inmates and staff documented all the way back to the 1930s. Throughout the prison, visitors and staff report seeing fleeting glimpses of apparitions, smelling unpleasant odors, strange noises, echoes, feelings of being watched, disembodied voices, as well as being brushed, tapped, or even shoved. These instances are common and profound enough that it is a hot spot and is also a location that has been listed with several or visited by many of the TV shows and YouTubers as well. Look it up, Moundsville State Penitentiary. I could not get through that one. It is a very interesting place. Several of the teams have been there. Definitely look it up. It has a dark past. Can you imagine going to see an execution, watching his head go...
Penitentiary. Say it. Penitentiary.
Penitentiary.
There you go.
State Penitentiary.
That was fun.
I enjoyed it.
I've never laughed that hard on one of these, so I hope you got a kick out of that because I can't breathe. So.
I'm like, do I leave it half long so people crack it?
Oh, yeah, because that is hilarious.
The entire penitentiary thing?
Yes.
Crap. Okay, anyway. This wraps up our spooky season.
Oh.
But we appreciate you listening. Let us know if you want us to do more of these.
Yes, please, because we enjoy it.
I actually really
We like doing the research. Jay likes doing the research.
I rubbed off on you.
More like I rubbed off on you. Okay, bye. You know what to do.
You have been listening to Untold Travel Connections with J and K.
Thank you for being here. If you are enjoying the stories and the content, please be sure to follow, like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are currently on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and everywhere you listen to your podcasts. This really does help us out, and we truly, truly appreciate all your support.
Do you have a story that you want to share? We're here to help you tell it. We're going to have new episodes every week, sharing travel experiences and insider tips. Also, if you need help planning your next vacation, remember, I am a certified travel agent.
Please head on over to our website for more tips and tricks and just a bunch of tools in general to help you plan. That is www.untolledtravelconnections.com. One more time, www.untolledtravelconnections.com.